Okay, so here goes a lesson on Friend of the Devil by the Grateful Dead in honor of Jerry Garcia's birthday today, August 1st. We're going to start out, this is like a G chord. So we're going to use this walking bass thing here. We're going to go, it's basically like 5th fret up here on the D string, and then you play the rest of that chord, which is just kind of a G chord. So we're going to move to this F sharp bass, and then we're going to move to this E bass. We got to change our fingers and then to a D bass. So we have. Okay, so that's the first part. Let's try that. 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 chord, 4 chord, 2 chord, open chord. One more time. 2, 3 and. Okay, one more time. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's easy enough. The weird thing is just having to kind of flip your fingers to finagle that different way of doing the chord up here. Now the next chord, because we don't have the low bass A string that a guitar would have, we're going to flip this around. We're going to do this C note here. So the C note on the 2nd string, 1st fret, to the C chord, and then we're going to go to the open. So we're trying to basically play a C chord this whole time, just like we did a G chord that whole time. We're trying to basically do that C chord 4 times, but we have this moving bass thing to do within it. It's not a bass since it's in the higher register, I suppose, at this point, but C to the B, and we're going to go ahead and keep that whole chord like an E minor looking chord right there. So C to the B, then we're going to switch here. This looks like an A minor, because now we're back to the notes of the C chord, but we have an A note in it, so we can get that walking thing in the middle of it. So. And then we're going to go to the G string open and hit that C chord again. So that was a C note to the C chord, a B note to what looks like an E minor chord at this point, and then an A note to what looks like an A minor chord, a G note which looks back to a C chord. So that way you get the note and the chord, note and chord, note and chord, just like a walking bass line with a chord on top. We just have it a bit inverted now. So it is a little weird to kind of flip that stuff around, but let's look at that one more time. Okay, so that's your first part. That's kind of the main riff of the song. Okay, so that happens to set up the verse, and then it goes a couple times in the verse as well. And then we're going to go to a D chord. We're going to do a little alternating bass type thing. You could kind of look at that as like the bass note, and then the 2 top strings, and then you're going to alternate with this 3rd string note. So you could be hitting like the whole chord and then the bass note, those 3 notes on the bottom. But if you kind of make it like you're just hitting the 2, then you feel that separation between those moving bass notes. Okay, so that D is going to go. Then we're going to go to A minor, but we're going to start in this G string, which is the A. We're going to alternate to the bigger string. Back to the D. Back to A minor, starting on the G string. Back to D. Now we could just do that 4 times and be back to this. But if you want to add something, on the 4th one, go. So open, open, 2, 4, 5, back to the beginning. Once again, this would be the easy way. Just do the D 4 times and come back. But if you want it to make it a little more fancy, now the 4th time, boom, 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 boom. So there's 3 verses like this in a row. Now let's go to the D again. Now if you want to get a little fancy, you go. So you might do a little double, a little down up on that. Now we're going to get into the bridge. This is going to have a little slidey thing. So that's going to be just that D chord sliding from 1 fret below into its place. So and then there's a little riff. And that's where you have the D with that 3rd fret down here, D sus4, to the D, and then to the open on that bottom string, which is a D sus2, back to the D. So it'd be. Okay, then we're gonna make this simple on the C chord. So we're not gonna do anything fancy. There's some fancy little fills and stuff going on there. We're gonna make this part easy. So we got the D, 3 of those slides, and then the riff, C, and basically just going boom, jang, boom, boom, jang, boom, jang, boom, boom, jang. There's a lot of like things with a bass and then the chord, you know, it gives you a lot of kind of like separation to make things sound a little bit fancier. Especially if sometimes you do like a down up double stroke there on the chord, and then sometimes you don't, you kind of alternate. It sounds like it has like more depth to it, you know. Now the second time we get to this D on the bridge, we actually hit the chord straight without sliding it, and we slide it after. And instead of that whole bum bum ba-dum, this one just goes like. So it kind of does that D and then sliding from the D flat into the D like 3 times. And then it hits the chord kind of normal. Dum, da, dum, dum. And then it just pulls that pinky in and out. That's sus4. So. Then we're going to go to A minor, C, D. So it's kind of quick on that C going back to the D after the A minor. C to the D. And then we're back ready for another verse. But let's hit that bridge one more time. So we got. C. Won't slide it first, then we slide. A minor, quick C to the D. So now we're to the next verse. A minor, D, A minor, D. Now we're gonna have a solo. coming up. Slide. C. And chord, slide, chord, slide. A minor. C, back to D. Then we're gonna have the last verse. And on the D. Beautiful song by Garcia and Hunter. Happy birthday to the great Jerry Garcia.